welcome to Evening News. I'm Aska Ismail. In tonight's top stories, President Abdullah Yamin has ratified an amendment bill to the Immigration Act submitted by the National Security Committee regarding the confiscation of passports by authorities. Fisheries Ministry says that the government would not accept the Sri Lankan government's request to allow Lankan vessels to cross Maldivian territorial waters en route to the Arabian Sea without prior permission. And funds have been issued to a fishing vessel for the first time under the government's Catch or No scheme for fishermen. President Abdullah Yamin has ratified an amendment bill to the Immigration Act submitted by the National Security Committee regarding the confiscation of passports by authorities. The amendment was ratified yesterday, following which the revised act was published in the Government Gazette today. The amendment bill proposed by Kaf Guradu MP Ibrahim Riza was passed by the Parliament on 28 August. The amendment was passed after being revised further as proposed by the government. Under the new act, passports may be confiscated by investigative authorities for a period of 24 hours, after which time they must seek a court order. Fisheries Ministry says that the government would not accept the Sri Lankan government's request to allow Lankan vessels to cross Maldivian territorial waters en route to the Arabian Sea without prior permission. The ministry has released a press statement refuting the widespread rumours. The government has decided to comply with the Sri Lankan government's request at the Maldives. Sri Lanka Joint Committee meeting being held in Colombo today. In the statement, the ministry has said that the Maldivian government assures all citizens that it will not make any agreement which may compromise the country's independence and sovereignty and its economy or the country's fisheries industry at stake. According to the ministry, despite the Sri Lankan government's numerous requests, the Maldivian government has always urged Lankan vessels to conform to the rules and regulations set under Maldives Fisheries Act and other relevant laws. Funds have been issued to a fishing vessel for the first time under the government's Catch or No Catch insurance scheme for fishermen. According to Fisheries Ministry, NSPA has issued a sum of 9,977 rupiah to each of the 20 fishermen working on the vessel named Kuruma due to low catch in June. NSPA has issued a total sum of 199,547 rupiah to the vessel under the scheme. According to the ministry, while NSPA will carry out all administrative tasks under the scheme, the ministry's role is to ensure the validity of information submitted by fishermen. The Catch or No Catch scheme is among the highlights of President Abdullah Yamin's campaign pledges. The opportunity is still open for fishermen to register in the scheme, which was launched in March this year. We'll be back with more news after a short break. Criminal Court has sentenced former Under-Secretary at the President's Office, Hinna Khalid of Hember Walufehi, to 6 months of house arrest. Hinna Khalid was sentenced to house arrest after she was proven guilty of committing an act of corruption during her tenure as the responsible head of the Malé City Council. Hina had tried to gain unfair advantages by bringing the council's overtime record book to Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital to sign her name in it from July 2009 to July 2010 while being admitted at the hospital. It was stated in the court verdict that witness testimonies have proven that Hina was guilty for the offence. Hina was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest under the Prevention and Prohibition of Corruption Act. The International Federation of Journalists and the Maldives Journalist Association have expressed concern over the lack of progress in search efforts for missing Minivan News reporter Ahmad Rilwan. In a joint press release, the two organizations have noted that while a month has passed since Rilwan went missing, they remain critical of the search efforts and the release of information by authorities. In the press release, the acting director of IFJ, Jane Worthington, has said that the huge public response to Rilwan's disappearance shows the strong desire for justice and answers not only by his journalistic colleagues but the public at large. She said that the demand for answers remains strong, and if the figures the police provide are correct, there is vital information that is not being shared with the media that might find the culprits behind his disappearance. The organizations have urged the authorities to deploy all necessary resources to find the missing reporter. Meanwhile, police along with MNDF are making robust efforts to find Rilwan. Rilwan was last seen on the night of 7th August at the Hulmale ferry terminal in Male. Police says that 1,537 vehicles were stickered last week alone for violating parking regulations in Male. According to police, 2,592 vehicles were inspected last week as part of their efforts to ensure road safety in Male. While 1,537 vehicles were stickered under the operation, action was taken against 62 individuals for driving without the annual registration fee sticker or with expired registration stickers. Action was taken against 56 individuals for driving without the roadworthiness sticker or with expired roadworthiness stickers. While fine slips were issued to 369 individuals for driving without any license last week, 111 individuals were fined for driving without renewing their licenses. While 228 licenses that have been withheld by the police were released this week, last week 434 licenses have been withheld from Male for violating traffic regulations. This concludes the news for tonight. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant night.